Search it out. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Modern
Ivans.
Championship here at Grey Ogre Games powered by the Power 9 Podcast. My name is Mick. I'm one of your hosts alongside Benjamin Huang.
Hello.
We're watching a match now. We're in round 5. We're watching a match between Ivan To on the left and Eugene Ng on the right.
Yeah,
Ivan has a slight chance of getting into the top 8. It seems the top 8 has been already decided, but
I think it just comes down to tiebreakers. So
Yeah.
anybody who is on a 3-1 record or 2-1-1 in Ivan's case has a shot of going in. Now, in most rational scenarios, I think Ivan would offer Eugene a prize split in exchange for a win here because Eugene is mathematically out of top 8.
yeah.
But I think there might be, some pride at stake for these two players.
Really?
Or it could be that because they're under the feature match, they're not allowed to do anything shady like that.
They
So
could. We'll just bring in another table to run the feature match. But it's good sportsmanship that they are playing right here. And
what's interesting enough is that they're actually playing the mirror.
they're playing the
It's
mirror.
The
Okay.
exact mirror.
This looks like something very near and dear to your heart.
Jund.
The Jundermount.
Yeah, it's when you can't find anything better to do in a format, you should just
You should just Jundermount.
cast Thoughtseize and then cast Tarmogoyf or Bob
best
Dark
creature.
Confidant.
Yeah.
So this matchup is very interesting because it comes down a lot to it will inevitably be a top deck war. It's just the number of
number of spells that you are able to resolve before. So yeah. No, waiting. Ivan's deciding to mulligan down to 6. Yeah. Yeah, it does go down to a top deck war because this is just a war of attrition, between the two decks.
I mean your decks are so similar. There's a lot of overlap. So it does come down to a number of 2-for-1s you draw. So Handmaster of the Fell is very good. Something that is in both of these decks.
Yeah, one copy in Eugene's deck. Is there how many copies in?
There's one copy here as well. Looks like they're playing almost identical decks.
Almost identical decks. Nice.
Yeah, Ivan and the mulligans really hurt here. But leading off with an Inquisition means that there's a good chance for Ivan to. It's a good chance for Ivan to possibly resolve a threat that is going to put Eugene under the gun. So one of the ways you can approach this matchup is to, again, using our discussion from last Wednesday's Modern, put pressure on him such that a lot of his material, a lot of his 2-for-1s are rendered irrelevant.
Yeah.
So here you don't see any, for example, convenient answer to Tarmogoyf
We see
other than
one.
Liliana of the Veil, which I presume he's going to take.
Yeah,
Liliana of the
which
Veil
he
also
does.
doubles up as being a 2-for-1 because you get both a Planeswalker and an Edict activation out of her.
Mhm.
Kolaghan's also a 2-for-1 and Handmaster of the Fells as well a 2-for-1. So
Yeah.
you see, this is a good
That was a good,
example
yeah.
of how this matchup always invariably kind of ends up playing out. So Eugene deciding what land to lay. Land choice, land selection is very important as well.
Mhm.
Because at some point you're going to start getting your hand shredded to Liliana or by Liliana.
Wow.
So,
Okay. Speaking of which,
So Ivan passing, not having any of the threats to punish Eugene with. Eugene passing back. Now without the
presumably-
Liliana in his hand. And with no profitable return with Kolaghan's command, opting instead to pass the turn.
okay.
Yeah,
So why does he choose not to fire off the Kolaghan's command at this point though?
I think it's just
Or at the end step? Will
it's-
he do it at the end step?
it's quite poor. Like you're not returning a card from the graveyard. So the most common mode of Kolaghan's command is
Discard a card, return a card from a graveyard.
well yeah raised it,
Mhm.
and whatever else comes after that.
Okay, so Ivan manages to draw a Maelstrom Pulse, but not that
He's
useful.
gonna play his own Liliana. He's gonna be able to discard. I don't.
One of his lands.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he chooses to go with the land discard, which then limits his ability to draw or top deck something like Kalitas.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Eugene is going to be able to go up to 4 and play Handmaster of the
Handmaster.
Fells. Ivan, yes, he has a good answer to the Handmaster of the Fells, but I think that's quite poor because he's basically trading
Two spells. It's
half
one
of
and a
the
half
Liliana,
spells. Yeah.
and a card in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not exactly getting the best value out of his his Liliana activation, and over the course of the game, you will see this, as you put it, battle attrition take its toll,
Yeah.
because Eugene will be the first one to be able to activate his Raging Ravines and so on and so forth.
And
So
Handmaster
Handmaster
of Fells
Fells,
is the battlefield.
Which Ivan already knew about from the Inquisition on turn 1.
It's 2 life. Well,
See,
yeah, we do
and
see a
see,
top deck Kalitas.
He's punished for this. If he had kept the 4th land in his hand, he could have played the Kalitas, edicted with the Liliana.
and then get back.
and then-
Well, he'll probably
gotten
just
a token.
sacrifice. No, he'll just sacrifice his 2/2 wolf token. Yeah.
Oh sure. If a
Yeah.
creature, so
Only if a
Kalita-
non-token creature.
non-token creature.
Hits the graveyard. So it's gonna
Sure.
lightning bolt that
It's
and
gonna lightning bolt.
just pass the turn.
yeah, but now he's leaving Liliana open to get killed by
The Raging Ravine.
the Raging Ravine. Which I think, if I'm in Gene's position, I do.
Mhm.
Partly because playing any other creature now just has it fall under the Liliana's
another
edict.
edict. Yeah.
The only concern for Eugene could be another bolt, but he doesn't have the bolt. Doesn't, and this is also why fetching the right mana is important in this matchup.
But doesn't he have a Kolaghan's command right here? Can he just take away the Liliana and bring back?
He can bring back, yeah, but then that means you have to use the Kolaghan's command for this specific purpose, as opposed to killing your opponent's Dark Confidant if he does have one.
Okay.
So this is really about conservation of resources, right? Like, it costs Eugene absolutely nothing other than his mana this turn to kill the Liliana. I think that's what he's gonna go with. Is to rumble with the.
The thing is, he's also got a Tarmogoyf in hand, which he can just follow up after the Kolaghan's command. So you get back a creature.
It puts a lot of
and,
pressure.
Yeah, puts a lot of pressure on the board, and you're developing your board while at the same time, shredding away.
So I think he's going.
yeah,
with
so
your
he
line.
goes for that. This returns the Handmaster and then casts the Tarmogoyf. Yeah, man after my own heart. He does develop his board. Unfortunately, Ivan has the answer in hand in the form of Maelstrom Pulse.
He has his own
he's also got
Kalitas
the
as
Kalitas,
well.
right? Does
So I think Kalitas in general.
is a better choice here?
Oh, I don't like this at
No,
all.
okay. So
No,
Maelstrom Pulse, I think you can take the damage here at 19.
Yeah, I
The
really
Kalitas
don't
would
like.
have been fine.
I really don't like not playing the. I don't really like. Though I really don't like playing the Maelstrom Pulse first.
Eugene also in his hand certain answers
To the Kalitas.
Yep. He's
Is
got
it
his own
Terminate?
Kalitas, he's got
Oh.
Terminate. In fact,
is
he
so
can
good
actually
for him
play
because he just play the Liliana.
Wow, the Liliana just -2, yeah. Leave the
and
mana up for
think
the
it's
Terminate.
All but game over
Ouch. Wow, that's painful.
for. Yeah, I know Ivan has the bolt, but that's not gonna unless he draws his own Liliana.
No.
Oh, he has. He has bolt on of his own.
I think that was a Tarmogoyf that he drew, right?
Yeah, so he has
Okay,
a bolt
so-
as the other card. Okay, so he's not. I don't like this. No,
Okay.
why is he?
Alright, so you just
Why
passes
is he playing the
turn.
bolt there?
You should hit it on the Liliana, right?
No, I mean if Eugene chooses to go up the Liliana, then he can toss the bolt, right?
Uh-huh.
And if Eugene chooses to pass the turn without playing anything so as to flip the Handmaster, then he can play the bolt, right? Why does he have to play the bolt specifically
on
there
that
and
turn,
then?
yeah.
So that's
Does he
quite poor
already-
on his regard, and I think as a result, yeah, he's gonna be able to play Liliana into Kalitas into Terminate. He's gonna get a 2/2, and Eugene is probably up like at this point 4 cards on Ivan, 6 actually with the lands in play.
Yeah.
So not much way out for and with the tokens
see.
flooding the board.
Yeah, the
drawing
Liliana
as
is
a
not going to be
Liliana is
very
not good
useful.
Nope, I don't think this is anywhere close to good
So he
enough.
just sacrifices a token and just passes the turn. Liliana is going to see the end of it and the Raging Ravine. Nope. Looks like he drew something. Dark Confidant maybe? No. 4 mana.
Nope.
No, Raging Ravine and
It's Ravine time,
yeah.
and
So
it's
that's
just 2 turns worth of
7 damage to the face. He's left
2
with
turns worth of
5.
combat is gonna be enough. Yeah, and he's drawing that. There's nothing in any gen deck in the world that could, even Damnation doesn't help him recover from this position.
Yeah, because the Raging Ravine
Yep.
will swing for 5 next turn by
Yep.
itself. Lightning Ball in hand. That'll be it. So yeah, that
Sure.
was a relatively quick game one, 10 minutes in.
So
And,
the Jund mirror comes down a lot to how much value you can get out of your collar guns command.
All right.
And so you see one collar guns command each in this. It's actually identical.
In the
text list.
sideboard, right?
Yeah, there's another one in the sideboard. I mean,
Uh,
minor differences. There's no
yes.
Golgari Charm in one of them in Ivan's deck.
Yeah, that one damnation for one Golgari's Charm. 3 4mm mages. No, this one runs 2. Okay, so let's just talk about the sideboard options. You got Kitchen Finks, you got Anger of the Gods, Fulminator Mage, Thran, Kolaghan's Command, Slaughter Games, Shatterstorm, Damnation, Golgari Charm, Duress, Ancient Grudge, and Nihil Spellbomb. Of which I think options like, let's say, Kitchen Finks, Thran, another Kolaghan's Command would be very useful in the matchup. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Fulminator mages are good too. They help. They
help curb your opponent's board development.
They're
to
the
stifle
perfect the perfect card that you want for this kind of matchup, because it's a creature that you can't answer profitably, because one of your lands is going to bite it as a result, and it's also a creature that you can take back profitably with Kolaghan's Command.
Yeah.
It also helps you answer one of the best ways to combat your planeswalkers, which is Raging Ravine. And overall,
that's
it's
true.
just not a size based fight.
Mhm.
It's gonna be and I'm surprised to see Ivan sideboard out Dark Confidence. Dark Confidence, if anything, is the one card that
will help you get back in the
that will
game.
help you
yeah.
get back into the game. And he's boarding in all the damnations, which is interesting.
Okay,
Sometimes
that's
I
true.
don't know. It could be the players have figured out what they think the other guy is gonna board in. The card that I think is very underrated in both sideboards, well, in Eugene's sideboard, is the Nihil Spellbomb, because Nihil Spellbomb means that you can control your opponent's Kolaghan's commands, and you get a card out of the activation.
Yeah, but the
So-
Kolaghan's Command doesn't necessarily have to be a return target creature.
Sure,
to
yeah,
graveyard.
but the worst case scenario is that it cycles.
Mm-hmm.
And even I mean, if you're trying to maximize number of 2-for-1s, there aren't too many cards, other modes of Kolaghan's Command that are that profitable. Sure, you
Yeah.
can kill a creature, deal 2 damage to a creature, and make your opponent discard a card. But in a matchup where your cards are you're already kind of prepared to have your cards discarded.
So then
Yeah.
you rather have more cards in hand.
returning
cards from the
Handmaster of the
graveyard.
Fells is actually a 3-for-1 because you get a 2/2.
Yeah, of
you know,
the activation.
Kitchen Finks
Yeah,
is like
so-
2.5-for-1 because you get a persist
Mhm.
trigger out of that. So
Yep.
that's where Nihil Spellbomb really is very powerful in terms of its ability to interact with your opponent's 2-for-1 base strategy. I don't like the way that Ivan sideboard at all. I think
might be-
damnations are very questionable, especially when you're taking out your own bobs.
Mhm.
But yeah, he could have a read on the way that Eugene plays. Maybe he was real birding a couple of games before and he saw that Eugene likes to overcommit to the board, and so
I see,
damnation
okay,
becomes an
then-
X-for-1
Yeah.
as opposed to
As
two
opposed
for
to just 2 or 3 for 1. Having it 3 for 1 would be really awesome.
Oh, we're showing the X2 bracket. I think because the top 8 is ID'd, and more importantly, Ivan is in a position to still play his way in.
Yeah.
So Eugene is the kingmaker here, or the top 8 maker.
He has the possibility. Well, Ivan actually has the possibility to make it into the top 8. I think if if the match does favor him, but I suspect the top 8 has already been decided. Who knows? We never know.
No,
right?
yeah, you could, people dropping out of the tournament, people losing in the last round, or
Might
especially
affect
if
your
yeah,
tiebreakers.
especially if any one of the top 8 played Eugene on the way up.
Yeah.
So Ivan on the play, gonna lead off with discard. This is I think quite a common mistake that a lot of Jund players make in the mirror, is to keep the discard in. You should
Really?
take the discard out,
Oh, okay.
because discard at best is a 1-for-1. At worst is just a horrible top deck.
You are. Maybe you should just put in more threats or more.
Yeah. So I really don't like I don't like having any kind of discard in post game 1.
Because there's no point.
And I doubly dislike having discard in if you don't have turn 2 threats like Dark Confidant.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason to keep your discard in is if you believe that sticking a confidant on turn 2 and having it go unchecked is your route to victory in this game.
Unfortunately, I think Ivan has bordered out his dark confidence.
So see here, you've basically traded 2 life for one of your card for your opponent's card, and you see Ivan's hand is pretty anemic. Any kind of action at all from Eugene would probably force him into. He has surgical extraction in his deck.
Oh, nice. It does?
He has one in the sideboard.
Oh, okay.
I really disagree with this. This is.
Hey, surgical extraction is a fun card, man.
It's fun.
Yeah, but it's
it's
I
fun.
don't think it's meant for
fun.
Jan, yeah.
Fun. You can have fun when you're not. You didn't pay money to play for a box. I think in this situation it's not optimal.
Yeah. He did draw his 30th threat in the form of Tamagotchi.
He did. He drew it a turn late, and the problem here is, and the problem again with this card is that because. Imagine if that Thoughtseize in his hand was a Dark Confidant. He played a Dark,
nice, man.
and then he get it terminated. Then he'll play a Goyf. But here because he's played Thoughtseize and to protect his hand, he's had to take his opponent's discard spell.
So
he now is under the unfortunate position of playing his Goyf into open mana, but he's gonna let his opponent play a Liliana,
and then just make him sacrifice
which
it. Yeah,
is questionable to begin with, right? Like if that was a concern for you, why didn't you just take the Liliana with the Thoughtseize? And here he's. So now he's 2 for 1ing himself. This is the reverse of what you want to be happening in this matchup. He's letting his opponent kill his creature and then spending a card to kill the Planeswalker.
Alright, so second Liliana is just going to +1 and discard one of the lands that he has. I think he's kind of flooding out right now.
Yeah, Eugene, pump faking and then realizing that he can reduce the amount of information he gives away by discarding the card that Ivan already knows about, but doesn't matter too much because he lays a land from the concealed part of his hand. Ivan only knowing about the terminate that's open, but I don't really think the game is gonna go too well for Ivan, and this is why you don't bring in Damnation. You bring in Damnation. If you draw a Damnation here, it's just gonna feel so horrible with the Liliana in play.
I feel like in Jan, in the Jan mirror, basically being able to stick one threat is more than enough to end out the game.
Which is exactly why you don't need Damnation.
Yeah.
And why you want cards like Kitchen Finks, because they die and they come back. Cards like Fulminator Mage, they can't kill them profitably. You kill them, they go after one of your lands.
But I thought Kitchen Finks may be something more useful than definitely more useful than
Fulminator is very good here
because
Fulminator gets rid of the Raging Ravine on the other side, the mana requirements of the Jund deck are actually quite intensive, so you can actually get your opponent off. For example, in this situation, Ivan can get Eugene off of his black mana to cast Kalitas if he had a Fulminator Mage.
Right.
Here, Eugene is going with the check clear kind of
and then
Thoughtseize, and he's gonna find out that his opponent has nothing but a Terminate.
Yeah, which at least he can strip it away and then tick up the Liliana.
Yeah, which is for Eugene, you must feel really good about your position here, because your opponent is basically drawing dead. He has no any threat that he plays short of a Hunt Master is you're gonna be able to handle with Liliana the Veil.
Yeah. He's also got he's got Fulminator Mage in hand, right?
Yeah, so I think he's read at least my side of the equation of the Jund mirror, which is that you should play all your
value cards,
creatures.
Threats, just threats and value. Just 2 for 1s.
I disagree that about keeping Inquisition in, but I can see keeping Inquisition in if you're on the play, on the draw. Sorry, so that
he just passes the turn. This is interesting.
Yeah, is that Kolaghan's command?
If that's Kolaghan's command, Eugene's gonna regret.
That is quite poor. If that is Kolaghan's command, he can hit the Liliana for 2 and then play a Goyf, right? Return a Goyf.
Yeah.
Which means that his opponent has to trade. Oh no, it's not. It's a land. He's going to be able to attack with the Ravine. And I think this game it's academic right now. With Eugene still having that Terminate face up, there is no way
you're going to resolve. I don't think you can resolve anything, man.
So in matchups like this, I like the card sort of Light and Shadow.
Oh, right. Yeah. You can bring back...
but only really with Hunt Master of the Fells, in tandem with that. Because you need extra bodies that get ahead of Liliana.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, Ivan drawing very, very thin.
that's unfortunate.
That's, every turn Eugene's gonna strip his hand before he attacks with that Raging Ravine.
Yeah.
I think here you see how, again, like we saw on Wednesday, how poor sideboarding will lead to inevitable kind of loss. Yeah.
So yeah, damnation. Okay, that's interesting.
Could have been Fulminator Mage that would have taken care of the Ravine.
So Eugene here doesn't need anything else. He just needs the Raging Ravine and just attacks. So he's going to attack him for 6 next turn, and if there's a lightning bolt, that'll be great. But
what is Ivan hoping to draw here? Like, he needs to draw a Fulminator Mage. Ironically enough.
So he doesn't, which is very unfortunate. That was a lightning bolt in hand that would have just ended the game.
I think even if it wasn't a lightning bolt in hand, even if you bought out all the lightning bolts, which is highly probable,
there's nothing to stop the
there's nothing to stop the Ravine.
At that point in time, like, it's bigger than a Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Your Raging Ravine is better than Tarmogoyf. Don't take it from me though.
So I'm an advocate of even siding out Goyf in this matchup sometimes, especially if you have Kitchen Finks.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't think you. I mean, if you have enough threats in your sideboard. But yeah.
All right. That ends the game between Ivan and Eugene, and coming up soon we'll have our top 8 playoffs. But before we go, I want to remind you that this isn't the only stream that we do. We definitely have other shows on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday night we have the SCG game night, which is standard. Wednesday we have our More Than Modern, which is our modern tournament. And on Thursday is Throwback Thursdays, which is our vintage playtest night. We also stream on the weekends, well, sometimes. So if you want to keep updated on the tournaments on the weekends, do follow our Facebook page. And if you want to check out older streams, you do follow our YouTube page and go check it out. Last but not least, support our partners and support our streamers. Okay, the links can be found in the description of the channel below. We are supported by the Power 9 podcast, of which I do host. This week we talk about kids. We just did an interview with Mr. James Su about his new book, which will be coming up next week. But this week, you got to listen to us talk about kids and how much we love them. The top 8 will be coming up soon, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go away.